Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm giving you guys a spoiler-free review of Netflix's newest movie, Worth. I want to give a huge shout out to Netflix for sending me this movie early so I can give you guys a spoiler-free review. So in this video, I'm going to be doing just that. Before we get into it, if you guys are new in here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn notification on so you don't miss any time I upload a video or I go live. But without wasting more time, let's get into it. Worth is about a lawyer, Kenneth Fenberg, played by Michael Keaton, who battles cynicism, bureaucracy, and politics to help the victims of 9/11. Now, overall, I thought this movie was pretty good. And again, shout out to Netflix for giving me this movie early, but I didn't think it was the best. It did not really exceed my expectations. It honestly just kind of lived up to them. I didn't expect this movie to be anything crazy, but I will say the story of this movie was really interesting at first, but over time it just felt like they played it really stupid in my opinion. It didn't feel like they were actually using the full potential of a 9/11 story. I feel like they could have put a lot more emotion and heart into it, and yes, there were like maybe one or two tear-jerking moments, but personally I didn't cry at all. I only felt emotion about like one time throughout the entirety of the movie, and that's because the lady acting in the scene did a really good job. It honestly wasn't just because of the story itself, it was because her performance was so convincing. But the story overall, I thought the story choice is perfect. I'll always watch a movie about 9/11 as long as the interesting part of the movie comes from the point of view. I thought this movie did just that. We never get to see movies from this point of view. This movie is from a lawyer's perspective, the person who has to basically give compensation to the people's families who died. One example, and probably the biggest example in this movie, is there's a family of four. There's a wife, two kids, and then the husband. The husband was a firefighter who died during 9/11. Now, this subplot itself is actually really good, but it's like the only good subplot in this movie, honestly. I thought the subplot with Stanley Tucci's character was all right. It honestly wasn't anything crazy. I wish they played off of that a little bit more, a little bit earlier in the movie, but overall, I did like the way the two stories connected. The two stories in this movie, number one, like the big overall one, is obviously Michael Keaton's character, Kenneth Fenberg. He is battling the decision of what to give these people for compensation, and does he just give everyone the same amount? Because there's so many different situations. There's the situations they go over in the movie. There's people that are maybe illegal immigrants whose one of their family members died. Maybe one person is married to someone that's out of the country, so the currency in the US wouldn't work for them. Maybe that person was the person who died was the provider. Maybe the person who died wasn't the provider of the family, but was the one at home all the time taking care of the kids, and now they don't have someone to take care of the kids. Every single little aspect of this movie really did intrigue me, but honestly, it was just like the execution didn't feel as heartfelt as it could have. It kind of felt like they were just brushing through every single thing, like every possible scenario. They were just snap going through it. It didn't really feel like any singular moment was heartfelt except for like the one family that I mentioned. And again, there's a few of those families, and those all lead into different subplots and different characteristics of people that work at the law firm. And so the way they connect all the stories is once again really great, but I just didn't really feel any heart, which is what I feel like I'm supposed to feel during a movie about 9/11. And honestly, other than Stanley Tucci and Michael Keaton, there weren't really any standout performances. There was that one girl, but her performance wasn't even good enough for me to know her name, I'm gonna be honest. Her performance is really good in like one scene. I mean, she's still in the movie for a lot of other scenes. That's the only really thing that stood out to me. But Michael Keaton, this is honestly one of my favorite performances from him. My favorite performance as of now will probably be Birdman, but overall, this performance was absolutely insane. He has a Bostonian accent almost the entire time. He does a perfect job in that role. And overall, I just really love the acting from these two actors, Stanley Tucci and Michael Keaton. I thought Stanley Tucci's character was just super underutilized. I thought he could have been used way more in this movie, and overall I'm just disappointed as to how they used his character. It was super heartfelt in the beginning, and then over time the story did build up to where his character became a lot more important, of course, but I just felt like when they marketed him as a main side character, which he really is, but at the same time he doesn't really become a main side character until like the second half. The first half, it's mainly just about Michael Keaton's law firm and his character, but honestly, the biggest issue with this movie is just that the impact of 9/11 wasn't there. There was the part where 9/11 happens in this movie where everything kind of kicks off. That's literally shown in like a train scene where people's phones are ringing and they're like, oh my God, are you safe? Are you safe? We barely get to see anything. And afterwards they show like documentary footage, but it's honestly nothing that impactful. Overall, I just felt like they didn't use 9/11's impact to the best of the ability. And that honestly made me not even care for half of these characters. And finally, I want to talk about the ending. The ending just felt super abrupt. It just it made sense. It was a sensible ending. It just ended so fast and I really didn't like it. Overall, I'm gonna give this movie a 6.5 out of 10, maybe a 7 out of 10 on a second rewatch. I just really don't like it. I mean, it's mid. The story just at a certain point got boring. They didn't utilize characters how they should have, and overall there's just no impact. Worth does come out on Netflix this Friday, so if you guys want to check it out, make sure to do so. Let me know what you guys think of Worth after you finish watching it in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.